Why are you laughing?
Here we are, Women Unscripted, back once again. Oh my gosh, we are so fired up again today. Are we ever not fired up? Right?
I'm crying.
So I wish you could have been a fly on the wall just before we opened the show today, and we're doing technology. And if any of you have watched our shows, you know how very succinct and professional I am with the technology, right? I got this one over here that's a pro, and this one
is like,
please
like me.
Help
me. Do I go to Facebook?
So we're talking about Women Unscripted. We are all that today. Yes. Welcome in, everyone. It's always fun to do our Women Unscripted. We have a few gals missing today. I'm your host, Barbara Marville Kelly. Thank you so much for joining me and us and we. Because to my left is Tinkerbella, also known as Helena Trangata. And she is one of our hosts, along with Chrysula Gauze, another great gal that certainly adds to the mix of fun and laughter and even tears sometimes. But I have to do a shout out for some of our gals out there who are not with us today for whatever reason. Maybe they've had some little challenges to getting to the studio or whatever. We have Cher Kissler. We're hoping everything is going well for you, my love, and we miss you greatly. It's been a good few months since you've been back. And of course, Maura, known as Maura for you, she is actually working at the polls. So
is she awesome?
Yeah, so she's doing that. And Marianne, I know you're watching out there. We're sending you lots of prayers after your elective surgery, and I know you're going to be just fine, perfect. She'll be back with us. And a very special happy birthday to the one and only, and I do mean Mary Louise Zeller.
Happy birthday.
I tried to get a hold of you, girlfriend.
Happy birthday, Marianne.
Get you on the show. It's so great to wish you that. I must have sent her about 10 birthday wishes and all of that. So have a wonderful day today, and we'll catch up later. But you know what? I want this show to be just what you're looking for. If you want to tune in for whatever it takes, you're going to find that here. Because we try to bring you
whatever it takes. We try.
Okay, you started that. Whatever it takes, come up with one word to live your life the best that you possibly can in today's crazy times out there. Without mentioning,
my first word. The first word that came to me was love, but I know you're going to take that one.
No,
so
you can take that.
I'm going to do gratitude. Gratitude for me has changed my life. When I got up first thing in the morning and all about gratitude, it changed my life. And I can thank Oprah for that. And she's a long time ago said, have a gratitude journal.
Aww.
And I was like, yeah, I don't think so. But you know what? It changed my life. And so thank you, Oprah. Thank you, God, every day. Thank you for friends. Thank you, thank you,
thank you. Thank you. And you know, that gratitude has worked in my life, too, and I thank God for that, because God gave me that gratitude and living and breathing with miracles in abundance for many, many years, and bringing me the kinds of friends that put up with me. So that's the other thing. Just be quiet. Just be quiet over there.
I'm not even going to say anything, because you ladies have helped me a lot.
I know. And Chrysula, I would say, you're right. I would say love. It's right over my head. That's what I live under. That's the banner I fly under every single moment of every single day. But there's a whole lot of other things that go along with that. Chrysula, one word.
And I have to say limitless, unlimited, right?
I see you looking at your dad.
I know. That's exactly why. I brought him into us.
I know. But
hey, Michael.
That is so true. We learned so much. You know, Helena and I were really very fortunate to have met your dad and hung out with him.
You know what, ladies? It's not just the fact that we got to meet him. You're right. The fact that we got to hang out with him and hear his stories.
Yes.
And then you would pipe your little stuff in about the stories. So, and that was such a gift to not just me and Barb, but what a gift to you that you had him in your life.
Oh, absolutely.
Up until that time and got to hear those stories.
And I was so grateful that you ladies were able to see my dad, you know, for who he was. He really was. And
what a storyteller.
Yeah, what a beautiful.
And I'm telling you.
Yeah.
True
Very
stories.
good.
I'm,
Yes.
not, I'm not saying he would make them up. I'm
Yeah.
saying he
Yeah.
told
Yeah.
stories that would
Yeah.
just
You
raise the hair on your head.
you're like, are you serious?
I love the monkey stories.
Well, some of them I was just like, freak me out.
And your travel stories.
Oh,
Ay, ay,
my
ay.
goodness.
I mean, he had no fear.
Nothing,
He was just
nothing.
like a fearless leader and just loved everyone.
Yep.
And that's hard to come by sometimes.
Yeah,
I can-
absolutely.
speaking of that, I have to mention this because this happened today at the store. I won't mention what one, but we're here to really serve you. We're all into that whole mindset of service and giving back and helping wherever we possibly can. And people are going through a lot, and sometimes they can't really help themselves. And so I went into the store to buy a big old thing of water. We were totally out of water, and I couldn't carry it. So I turned to the guy next to me who was in all green, but then suddenly, because I really wasn't quite awake yet, and I go, I guess I didn't care who he was to help me pick that up and put it in my cart. And I go, oh, I thought you worked here. He goes, I do. Do you think I'm doing this for fun?
Are you?
In that tone of voice, I go, oh, I'm sorry. But it caught, because I never seen him in this same Publix that we all frequent. You know what I'm saying. And, anyway, but he had the green mask on. And this, but poor guy, he kind of took offense, and I was just laughing my bouncy, bubbly self, like, I'm sorry. But you know what? All kidding aside, there are people that are kind of jumpy, and they're ready to, sometimes we all probably have those moments.
No,
right?
we never have those.
And
We're perfect.
But if we can keep that balance,
Yes.
if we can keep that balance,
absolutely.
So starting the show out with the love right behind us, and we have to thank John Gaston and Rob for being the producers extraordinaire.
nice.
Doesn't that fit there?
It looks
perfectly?
perfect. Yes,
I know.
absolutely.
Now I don't think you can take it home.
Oh, gosh, I really have no wall space for it, so it just like sits out there as big as life. I do bring it on our Zoom calls, especially for we're doing some coaching and things like that.
Oh, I love it.
But everything does derive from that, and if we remember to come from that
Absolutely.
as best as we can, even if we're cranky and we put a smile on our face, believe me, it will change your frequency from inside out,
Absolutely.
But really and truly, our driving forces is probably no different than many of you out there that are looking to move forward, looking for things to be put behind us. Some people are saying, our life will never be the same. Our life will never be the same. There's a lot.
Do you really want it to be?
I was getting
I
there.
like that, Miss.
I was getting there. See? Our lives are never the same from one
Absolutely.
minute to the next. And what's so
Absolutely.
exciting is to make things happen. When I go to the store and people say, how are you doing today? I go, I'm doing great. And I'll say, oh, that's great. Every time I ask you, you're always doing great. I go, it's a choice.
Yeah.
It's a choice. No matter what's going on in your life, you can make something great in it because there's something great to know about. I was talking to a young kid that was taking the water out for me. And,
The same kid?
this was a different kid.
I don't think the other one would have.
No, he was a grown man. He should have known better. Should have better manners. Oh my goodness! But anyway, he was. It sounded like he had some bad news when he woke up in the morning.
Oh,
So
my goodness.
by the time I was done from the store to my car, his frequency changed.
Oh, good.
Just
good.
because we, talked light and love, and things can change, and sometimes that happens. So you take the good with the not so good and move on. You got to cry a little bit, you got to laugh a lot, and just
flick it away.
that's why we're here. I mean, we're right here in the little old town of Newport Richey.
Can I
And
just add to that? May I just add to that
No.
for a minute? Because, I wrote about gratitude recently on my Facebook page, and someone wrote back a really good message. He said something about, but we can't just be grateful for the good. We have to be grateful for everything. And I think but I'm saying, sometimes we may come off on this show like we're just, sitting in the catbird seat.
Yeah.
And we're not sometimes, but they may think that we are. So I just want to say that, if you're presented with a problem, ask yourself, what is the lesson I can learn from this?
Mm-hmm.
Because there always is a lesson, whatever it is. And I'm not preaching to anybody particular.
Oh, you're not?
But the idea is that, where you have a little thing, whatever it is, a little financial thing, a little physical thing, it doesn't matter because there's something to be learned there. And maybe it's something that we need to look at in ourselves, because many times when these things appear, they're mirrors, aren't they?
Absolutely.
Have we not seen that? They're mirrors. Well, did I snap at somebody? You're talking about, somebody that you had a dealing with. Have I ever, and of course we have, everyone has snapped at somebody. So I have to say, can I be a little bit nicer? Can I be a little bit more loving? Can I be a little bit more? So these things come up in our faces, and we don't always like that. But the idea is that, none of us are perfect. We're still here.
And I also want to add to that, because, we think of like, oh my goodness, we're so happy. All of a sudden something happens, and we're kind of like, we don't know how to handle it.
And it's and that's where the learning comes from.
Yeah, and it's like you got to keep telling yourself over and over, like, I think we have all, you're so right, we've all gone through something, and I'm still going through something, but I have to tell myself, you know what do I do? Do I want to keep feeling whatever the feeling is, the fear, because of bills and all of the stuff that's piling up, or do I want to just allow it to go and say, you know what, thank you. Now I'm going to do this, and that to make it a little different, or to make a change in whatever is going on. So it takes practice. So
it does take practice.
It's not like all of a sudden I'm like, boom, I did it.
It takes a lot of practice.
And you ladies, it takes knowing. So when you're down and when you're not sure, seek people out. Seek friends, seek families, maybe someone you don't even know. There's so many groups out there that are willing to say, you know what, come on in. Let me show you how we do things, and go around, because there's not only one cure for every person. There's many things, and I don't mean to say cure as in a medical or anything, but things that can help change our minds or help us translate things that we're getting or coming or going. So it's that community again, right, that you're creating.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Isn't it? There was a time that I don't talk about a whole lot, but that I didn't know if I wanted to stay on this earth. Long time ago, single mom, money was really a problem, a lot of issues, and I was thinking about it very seriously. And but I didn't do anything, and I went over to a new friend's house, and she asked me in for coffee. Very spur of the moment, no invitation, no phone call first, because we didn't have the cell phones and everything back then. And that turned it around for me. That one day, that one cup of coffee with one new friend, who I didn't even tell her what was going on through my mind, took me to a better place.
And that's all it takes sometimes.
How beautiful.
And so, anybody has a problem, come have a cup of coffee with me. I love my coffee.
There you go.
Come have a cup of coffee with me. Just little things that we sometimes forget, especially now. We're not getting together. We're not having the cups of coffee. We're not having the social things. But I want people to know, and you read these things on Facebook and all, come over to my house. I'll fix you a cup of coffee. I'll let you sit on the lanai with me. You can talk about anything you want to talk about.
Right.
And I think that's what we all do and are, but it's sometimes hard for people to know that they're welcome.
Right.
And there's a lot of people that don't,
like you said,
really
reach
have
out to somebody.
a circle of friends,
Right.
or people that they've even maybe they don't even know what to say to someone if they do have that person to have the cup of coffee with. But getting back to the lessons learned, everything you guys are saying here empowers people. And it empowers people, whether it's male or female, to learn that once they practice that, it's not perfect. Perfection is only a direction. But when my coach, who I picked up at the gym and married, he taught me,
Hey,
what can we learn when things come our way that's uncomfortable for us? He says, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? What can I do better the next time? And how can I change things? And those answers will come from you when you go to your heart. And the other thing is when people come to us, whether it's male, female, and they're really, really in a low, low ebb of frequency, that is the time where they really need us the most. But those people also are the ones that help you echo what you're about to say to them, to help them. And they may not understand that you're giving them just this much, but maybe it's this much is all they need because you can't give them that much. Does that ever happen? Where you're already going through your own stuff, but you've got someone that you know and love and care for that you want to help. I know when I was first starting coaching, when we were doing Compass coaching, I forget which issue we were going through at that time, and I think you were on a lot of the calls, and it was very difficult as a certified life coach to have a group of women on the calls and give them the best that I had at that moment. And I was coaching, what did we do, 45 minutes or an hour? Something like
45, I
that?
think.
But I had to look at it, okay, well, I know I'm going through this over here, I got this voice over here in my head, but I got this group of women that are relying on me to help them with empowering tools. And here is the catch line in the end. When we take our empowering tools, I'm not preaching to you or anyone. I'm not giving you a lecture. I'm not coming across like I know everything, because I only know about a thimble's full at 72 years, okay? That's all I know. I'm hoping that I learn way much more before I leave the planet. But I truly feel in my heart of hearts that when you continuously practice and practice and practice, even if you only have that tiny little bit to give, that's this much to that person to pull them out of that dark place that they've gone to. And it may not be their fault, or it's nobody's fault. It's life. I mean, anybody surviving this crazy, and I'm not, I swear I'm not going to give it the word today. I'm just not, because we're pulling ourselves up by the bootstraps. We're going to maintain ourselves through balance, and anything we can do to help you guys out there. This show goes worldwide. And what we want is for you to go ahead and take this and repost it, because the next time somebody watches the show, pulling something from what Helena has said or what Chrysula has said, and talking about your dad and how he lived a limitless life. There were no barriers. He lived a life without walls.
Right.
And so, even if you picked up like one little thing from our show, our Women Unscripted show, because it is unscripted, and there have been times where we have cried. We have felt sad in the moment because we go back and recapture. But that's how we continue to learn and we continue to grow. So I love when we all get together, and I love it when we have even more ladies. I'd like to fill this whole room, And I'm not an Oprah. I don't care to be. I'm me. You're you. You're you. And you're you. And each one of us are individuals. And I'll tell you the one thing, and Cher, if you're out there watching this, and you know this too, because Chrysula wasn't with us with the Amazing Women. I've got to mention the Amazing Women, because there's still that whole brain thought or brain freeze about competition. Remember when Cher said that there is no competition? I want you guys to think about that, because I'm speaking for Cher today, and I know you guys will too. But she said, there's no competition, Barbara. She said, nobody can do what you do the way you do it.
Absolutely.
And that is very, very, very true. We all have our own skill sets, and once we learn what they are and we just master them and keep mastering them, and you'd be surprised how they become a part of your life day in and day out. Yes, it is difficult sometimes. I mean, I find myself sometimes standing in the middle of the room, and my husband's over here, and he's not hearing me because he didn't put his earplugs in, and I'm going, dear Lord, sweet Jesus, please give me the patience I need right now. Oh, and he does. And I sail through it. I did that this morning too, because I don't know. I didn't know if he was going to hear me, and bless his heart. We make a joke about that, but I'm sure you guys can, relate to that. Come on FaceTime and send us your comments.
Absolutely.
And we'll go on there and check it on our phones, because we want to help you if you have something specific. And if there's, if it's something beyond our skill sets or our consciousness of love, which, could be a challenge, and we suggest to you to get professional help or whatever. But sometimes all it needs is like a girlfriend.
Love.
You know, when I was in my teens, that's right, it is, it's love. When I was in my teens, do you remember, do you remember Dr. Sonia Friedman? Do you remember Sonia Friedman on the radio? I lived by her, and I was very, very young. But when you grow up in a dysfunctional family, you seek out as much information as you can. And I just thought, and that was over the airwaves. And that's what we're doing here. Only you guys get to see us, aren't you lucky?
Aren't they?
Yes.
Where's Cher?
Me.
She wrote on Facebook saying, "I will miss you."
Aw.
I was going to see if there's anyone else had commented. That's the only one I saw. But Cher, we love you, and yes.
This
is for you, darling.
Well, Cher will be back. She's just dealing with a few little challenges and that, and she'll be back, and we'll be talking about it. I love the love plaque behind me.
Yes.
That was cheap, too. I have no room in my house for that. Maybe I will leave it here. I spread the love. So I have to say something. You're getting ready to do a tour. And I wish we would have been rolling with what you were talking about when you brought your dad, Mike, up. And living a life unlimited. And it really has influenced all of us. If you've ever met Michael, what's his last name?
Salikas.
Salikas. Okay. Look it up.
It's an Italian name.
Yeah. It might have a T in the front.
But seriously, Chrysul is getting ready to finally start her tours.
Yay! Again.
You know, with what's been going on.
Yes.
And we talked last week. You called me, and we finally got you calmed down with a little bit of.
Oh my goodness!
Okay.
Yeah, had to breathe, learn the breathing again. Actually, not learn the breathing again.
Just
remember.
Remember, exactly. And so, what happened? You did not have any at that time. And
Absolutely.
You're up to how many already?
So I'm almost starting my second group.
Ha!
Yes.
Go figure.
So our walk is going to be on Thursday, coming up October 29th. And we're doing groups of 10 because of everything that's going on. And don't worry, if there's more, I have another time at 6 o'clock, and we'll have another 10. So just call us, and we'll give you more information if you need it.
And you can go to, excuse me, I don't mean to interrupt.
No, go ahead.
If you go to the Tarpon Springs Chamber of Commerce, you'll be able to go ahead and get your tickets there, I believe. And then tune in to My Chamber TV this Wednesday at 3:30, because Chrysul is going to be back as a special guest with Jean Hungaville, who is the president and CEO of the Tarpon Springs Chamber of Commerce, who is wonderful at promoting the
Oh my goodness, she's amazing
so
with
you'll
businesses.
have a second shot at pushing this out on
Yes.
social media. But
So do we all know? I mean,
I just want everybody to know
done in Tarpon.
the
Yes.
background though of you, because you are an icon in
Oh, you're so
Tarpon.
funny.
Your grandmother built St. Michael's,
Yes,
right?
correct.
And so
Thank you, Grandma.
What,
Yes.
isn't that the truth? And what better person? You've been in Greek Town over there in Tarpon Springs for how many years?
Oh my gosh, so I'm 53. I came when I was 5. And I can pretty much, people say, you just say, you're been here your whole life. So,
It's true. It's true. Yeah. And so really, if you would like to do something really special, you want to see what Tarpon Springs is all about, check her out, because I know you're going to do so well with this. And finally, because you were just starting.
Oh my goodness, yes.
Just starting back in, what was it?
In
March,
January,
April,
yeah.
You started in January, you're getting ready to kick off, and then you know what happened.
Yeah.
So, and it happened to a lot of small businesses, and there's a lot of them rallying back and
Oh my
coming back.
goodness.
And to be able to get out. Tell us what the tour is going to include.
Excellent. The tour is going to be a 2-hour tour. It's in Tarpon Springs. We're going to go to 5 different places. You're going to taste food and drinks from all those places, and one of them just kind of look around. It is about 2 blocks radius, so it's not a long, long walk. And come and have fun. We're going to have gifts. We're going to talk about the history and the mystery of Tarpon Springs. And, just have fun. And we're doing this just because the other tours, what happened is with everything going on, we didn't have a lot of people. There weren't a lot of groups. So by doing this, we've brought it down a little bit and made it 10-person group. So I can customize groups, for, parties for you, or walks for you, you know, pretty much anything. Give me a call. We can work it out. And please join us on the 29th of October for the first foodie tour.
We're going to be there.
Yes. I have my girls,
I'm
my girls.
watching the weather. Watching the timing. If I'm not in,
2 blocks. Yeah. Tell her.
if it's not in the first group or the second, it may be in the third. When it's
There you
down. But I know, because you're gonna. Well, you've got a lot of history behind you and experience in the food and beverage industry.
Yes,
So this fits you to a T.
Yes, I'm so excited and nervous, you know, because it's something new and different. But yeah, I have a bachelor's in international hotel and tourism, and I've been in hospitality over 20 years. Actually, I was born because of Mr. Mike. He actually started the hotel in South America the year I was born. So yes, and I learned a lot of not good habits from that.
Haven't we all?
Serve everybody first, right? Serve hospitality. So that actually, it's funny because my way of thinking had to change, right? Because when you love yourself, it's not giving to everybody. So it's been a transition to learn being in the hospitality industry, giving all the time to saying, oh, okay, yeah, I can use some love. Can you please talk to me? So now it's kind of, yes.
Yeah. Oh,
And we love you.
We sure
Thank
do.
you. You guys are
You'll never
so
meet
amazing.
a more
I'm
down-to-earth, honest, beautiful person than this one, because
Aw.
I tell you, in fact, Chrysula was the one that opened the doors to healing the two of us. Back, when was it? It's been 2 years now, hasn't it?
Has it really?
If it wasn't for you, we don't know if we'd be walking.
2 years,
That's right.
ladies?
That's
I think
right.
it was.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
it was
2 years
Au-
ago
it was
in August.
Yeah, in August.
Wow.
That's
So
right.
it's been over 2 years.
Oh my goodness.
See? Yeah.
Wow.
So there.
Thank you.
There you go.
Thank
So-
you.
And when you go ahead and get your ticket and all, you may see us there. So just be prepared for that.
I don't know if you can handle it. I really don't.
Come and
I mean,
join
to
us.
have all
We'll
of
have
us
fun.
together is a party in itself.
We're doing the Tarpon Springs tour.
Which restaurants are we going to do?
So we're going to start off at the distillery on Tarpon Avenue.
I've never been into that.
Oh, you're going to have fun. Oh, they're just amazing. Actually, they started it, the couple started it because he had passion. He was playing and tinkering, and all of a sudden it's like, oh my goodness, this is delicious. This is wonderful. It was like, yeah. So then they were like, okay, let's do something. So they began the distillery. And once you go there, they're going to actually give us a tour and explain to us the different alcohols and everything that they have. And the next stop would be Catarina's. It's a little restaurant right there. I don't know, maybe a couple 100 feet away, not even 100, maybe not even 100. I'm not sure,
Are
folks.
these all
but it's,
Greek? All Greek?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And then
course.
we'll go across to Mr. Souvlaki's and try something there. And then there's a little shop by Mr. Souvlaki's, which I'm not going to say the name yet. You got to come. And then at the last one, we're doing the oysters, the little oyster bar that just opened up. So it's literally a little circle. And
That's going to be great.
So, therefore, it's open to people in wheelchairs, etc.
absolutely.
So, handicapped is not a problem.
Oh, you're so good. You see, that's why these are my awesome friends.
It's going to be amazing. It really is. Whatever made you start to think about? I mean, you were like went completely over here from here.
So it's funny because our friend Sheila Neisler, so she was helping
Who I
me
brought
out.
back into your life.
Yes, yes, that is my neighbor that I didn't know. I knew her dad and her mom, but I didn't know her. So she actually, we were working together and we were doing Tai Chi and all that with the rec. And I said, you know, it's actually not working out. I need something else. And she looked at me one day and she goes, Chrysula, why not be a tour guide? You know, you're from here, you love the outdoors, you enjoy talking, which I do. Listen to my husband. My poor husband is like, okay.
That's a benefit of turning off the hearing aids.
Absolutely. And I used to, and you know, and I love to learn about history. So here we go. We started, and the funniest thing is after a while of preparing and starting, and then I'm like, this looks familiar, feels familiar to me. And then I'm like, oh my goodness, I used to do tours in the Amazon. So it was just hilarious because I did a full circle with her. And here I am. So.
See?
Yeah,
What goes
very
around
excited.
comes around.
Yeah.
That's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
Sheila's great for that.
She's amazing.
I know, and I mean, who would have thought? But you're like an icon over there.
Why, thank you.
Yeah. Now, are you going to ever go over to St. Michael's and tour St. Michael's?
Oh, absolutely. So I'm going to have different tours as we go. I'm starting out kind of slow because I just want to see how many people are interested.
Sure.
We have all from cooking tours that we're going to be doing to the churches. And, you know, I set up tours to what you need, right, to your needs, and I customize. I have a group coming in, and they want to see the St. Michael's Shrine, but they want to do most of their tour on the sponge dogs. And so what I'm going to do is I'll take them to St. Michael's Shrine, show them around a little bit, and then I take them straight to down to Dodecanese, and then we do a tour how they want. So just always know that we can change it and make it fit to your group, right? You have
For something like that, do you use the shuttle?
Yes, I can use a trolley.
They have a trolley there with the chamber operates it, or?
No, it's the trolley. They have about, I want to say about a dozen of them now, and they work on every hour on the hour.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, yeah, and if you call them, you can literally say, hey, can you please keep an eye out at such and such stop? I'm going to have 10 people, and there you go. So it's been, you know, it's great because they'll work with you. And the trolley, I have to say this about the trolley. Can you imagine not having to drive, to get on the trolley in the morning, go to the beach, enjoy yourself, get off wherever you want, and you don't have to return home till 10 o'clock at night? It's
Yeah.
like, oh my goodness.
Oh, yeah, that's
what
so
a
great.
beautiful thing to do, you know, if you don't want to drive.
And Chrysula can put you in touch with bed and breakfast as well.
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. We have a few bed and breakfasts in Tarpon Springs, and let me know what you need. Let me be your concierge in Tarpon Springs. So whatever you need, give me a call, and we'll see what we can do.
I think this is going to be so successful for you, especially since people haven't been going anywhere.
Right.
Or traveling.
And we all want to go somewhere.
Yes.
We want to, but
we want
don't.
to, and we don't know.
Sometimes we do kind of sneak
Yes,
out.
yes.
But this is a nice way to sneak out in groups of 10.
Yes,
See,
Yeah.
that's a
absolutely.
good.
Or just in your family. If you just want your family to be part of it, hey, that's fine. We can do a group just for your family. So
That'd be a great
Yeah.
celebration, anniversary, birthday.
right, and I have gift certificates. So if you want to purchase in advance, or I can even stick it in the mail for you with a card. That's, you know, totally up to you what you prefer. So.
Now, how often are you doing these again?
So the walking foodie tours, I'm going to be doing 4 times a month.
Okay.
And every month we're going to change. So we'll have 5 other places next month. So keep your ear out and your eyes out, and come and join us.
It's going to be fun. I can't wait. We may very well should go. So there.
Good idea.
So I want to ask you something, because Tink and I don't even know where this came from, but ever since we've known one another, I've lost track. It seems like it was just yesterday since I conned you into coming over and going to an event. And you ended up becoming
Which I think is like 10 years ago.
Has it been?
Has it really? That's beautiful.
Yeah, when she
10
came
or
over,
more, yeah,
Ended up
I
being
mean,
a life coach with me after that.
Oh,
Yeah,
my
it
gosh.
was beautiful.
Which I said, no.
Yep. She was being courteous, being a icon in the community, a pillar, I should say, in the community, as that's why we nicknamed her Tinkerbella.
She's amazing.
She goes around in the community and collects many people together and connects and engages one another and does a fantastic job with it. But I don't remember when this started, but it seems like every October, which is my birth month, yours is April, right? But for some reason in October, maybe because it's the last quarter of the year, we kind of look at what we're doing in life and see, okay, what's working, what isn't? Is this the same path we're going down? And is this? And we really, because we've been so busy, we haven't really hunkered down to really kind kind of delve into that. Have you come up with any things that you're doing new that you're moving forward into the new year, or are you still contemplating?
Well, this year I really looked at holistic health again. I mean, not that that hasn't been the path that we've been on for some time, but when you're on a path like that, it's always changing.
Yes.
You know that.
Yeah.
It's not, you may start off doing, I'll cut down on the sugar, and then I'll,
Yep.
and before you know it, I mean, where we are now is we're pretty much everything's organic, and we're really, just trying to have our best years, at this point in our life, our vintage years, as I call them. We don't know how many years we have left. I mean, I know I didn't know how many years I had left when I was 50, but now we're coming to the vintage part of our lives, and so we want to make it the best that we can. And so I look and try out a lot of options for better health. And we were talking before the show. You missed the best part of the show. We should have a pre-show.
I know.
We should have a pre-show show. But we were talking, Chrisula was really talking, we were really talking about vaccinations, but she was talking about her father again, Michael, and how he honored both the Western and Eastern traditions of medicine. And I do too, to a point. I would never say, don't ever go to the doctor. I would never say, don't ever take a prescription. But I think that as long as you don't have to, yay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because you never know what the side effects are going to be of those things. But there are side effects in everything. There's side effects of eating a bologna sandwich. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Which I grew up with, and I'm still paying for those toxins.
There's also side effects from organics and herbs.
Yeah.
We know that.
That's why I said there's.
Even they're so.
Because we're all different, right? I mean, we were talking about flu shots. Somebody can take a flu shot, not have a bit of problem. The next person can take it right side by side, and that person can be very ill. So, we don't know, and that's the problem, is we don't know how these things are going to affect us. So I am looking at a lot of that, and I just want to be, I've, for many years, called myself a connector. And I want to continue to be a connector. Yes, I am a life coach, and yes, I am a this, and yes, but you know what? I really feel strongly that there's so much need in our circles of friends that we need to be really open. I don't want to coach everybody because I have specialties. I have a specialty, and there are many things that I don't know, and I can't talk to that person well. So I want to be able to refer them to Priscilla. I want to be able to refer them to this person I met on a networking call. I want to be able to tell somebody, oh, yeah, did you know about solar? This woman in my networking group, she does that. And, I think that is the biggest thing that we can do right now. The best thing we can do is stay with our passion, be passionate, look at your passion. And the other idea is, you cannot be everything for everybody. No. Chrisula's walks are great, but there are other things than just walks. There's other things than just food. I would love to be a foodie all the time.
Right.
But the other part of that is there are other things that we need to look at and change and possibly change.
And I want to just
on that?
say something on that, which is so dead on, because for years I was learning and trying to, she did this. I want to learn, hurried up and learn how to do that. So I want to hurry it up and learn and to do that. And I'm like going, oh my goodness, now I know all these things, but where is my heart? Where's my passion? And I'm like, I love Tinkerbell, but I can't do what she does. I love Barbara, and I don't want to think that, I don't want to do what she does, and I have all these friends, and it's like, oh my goodness, it's finally coming to me, right? Where it's like, Chrisula, you're Chrisula. So Chrisula does, and Chrisula's specials are Chrisula's. So it doesn't matter what everybody else does.
I can't certainly be the Greek icon of Tarpon Springs. You know what I'm saying? So I would not want to ever usurp your. Not that I could, but that's just the thing. I mean, I love the foodie part of it, and even the walking part of it. But that is your niche.
Thank you.
So we know that even though you had the little stumble through this last few months, that it's just going to be perfect, exactly perfect. I took I did a gal I know. I met her on a networking group. She does meditative things, whatever you want to call them. You know, I mean, she does a whole lot of things. She does massage, and she's got quite a story herself. She ended up being trapped in India at a ashram when everything broke down with travel. So she was over there much longer than she thought. And Ranny, if you're out there, I'm talking about you. And then she came back here, and her home burned down in California.
You were telling me about that.
And so you talk about being grateful.
Oh, yeah.
She had this whole 9-day Sacred Women meditative thing, and I listened to day 1 on approximately day 7. So this is where I was. But I wrote her and I said, well, I finally listened to day 1, and what is it?
It's on my phone. You're up there in the picture.
Oh, there you go. So. But she wrote back and she said it was exactly the right time for you to listen to it. And I think that's so important for all of us to do Chrysula in the right time for you.
Right.
It's not just about being Chrysula. It's about the right time to be Chrysula.
Right.
To find what you're passionate about. And it doesn't matter if it's you or Barb or me. We all have to be happy with who we are, which I think most of us are. But the other part of it is to be the best you can be in the right timing, because some of us are morning people, some of us are night people, some of us listen to a meditative audio tape on day 7 of it when it was done 7 days ago, but it was very powerful, and I'm glad I listened to it, and I will listen to day 2 through 9, but they may not, but for me it was like perfect, and that's what she said to me. That's exactly, she wrote back, she said, you listened to it at the perfect time.
Isn't that beautiful?
Exactly.
And
it's true.
And there could be people who would, you'd send something to them, and you're like, you're listening to day 1 on day 7? What do you mean, girl?
But that was day 1 for you.
Yeah. But no, she said you listened to it at exactly the perfect time.
What a
I was
beautiful person, too, to say that, right?
Yeah.
Because that's the beautiful thing about you ladies, and when you get into that love, right? We all are so wanting to help each other and to build each other and just to be there for each other. Like you ladies, when I needed, like today when I ran in here, I'm like, gosh, technical or writing is not me. I'll do anything. I'll clean toilets. I'll do anything at home, okay? When you tell me write this, I'm like, oh my gosh. And so in the parking lot, I almost accosted poor Helena. I need this.
And that was only because I got here first. It would have been Barb if Barb had got here first.
So it is. It's a pretty amazing thing. And to know. I think it's all of us need to know that we are special, and that time is not going to skip us, and it's not going to go somewhere. It's going to be at the right time, like it was for you. Right?
And that's right. You were where you were supposed to be when she was where she was supposed to be. And you guys gave me something to think about, too, as to what I'm doing on these shows. I really didn't know when John said, come in, and he's made me this offer to do these things, and I thought, okay. And we were just talking about doing one-on-one coaching. For me, this is actually, I'm so used to a large platform that for me, I like a large platform to try to reach as many people as we can. Do we have a huge audience? I have no idea how many people are watching today. The control room tracks all of that. But if we can reach even one person out of 10,000, 100,000, a million, to me, that's really worth it. And I don't even need to know that. You've heard about karma, right?
Yes.
So karma, we don't even need to know about karma.
Nope.
We just know that it's out there. So when we're talking about connecting, I like to do the connecting like right here, like with the two of you, and connect through the airwaves and go out there and have you all share this. And I think that's a beautiful thing, because we can multiply by coming in here and doing a 1-hour show.
Well, exactly. So your 1-hour show that you did, let's just say we did last October, 1 year ago, could actually be affecting somebody today.
There's no doubt. I hear that all the time.
So, we never know.
No.
And when we speak just like a minister who would be in a pulpit and being filmed, when his message goes out, he doesn't know who's going to listen to it or when they're going to listen to it.
Absolutely.
But it's the same thing, and I'm not saying that we're ministers, although I believe that each of us is a minister on this earth. We're here to minister. I think that's what we're here for. We're here to help. We're here to give. We're here to be, for me, I can only say we're here to be godlike, because God is my maker.
Absolutely.
So I do minister every day. But like Barb was saying, how blessed are you and us that we can actually connect with you today, but also in all the other shows that we've done.
And they're all archived. That's our podcast.
And
this, I
so
think.
thank you and thank John.
Yeah,
thank
thank
the
you and
studio.
thank- Absolutely.
Absolutely. And I don't really need thanks. It's to the recognition that I'm thinking about here, that when we first started this, I wasn't 100% sure exactly where I was going to go, but then it popped right into my heart and going, my husband and I use this as our platform to share what we know and what we know to be true. And we branded ourselves so that you know that before we bring anything to you, we've either tried a product, we've tried a system, we teach you how to breathe, and we bring you all the science behind that. Whereas when I was a host at Home Shopping, everything was laid out for me. The shows, the training, everything.
And you had to sell it whether you liked it or not.
Yeah.
That's true. But my mom used to always say, and I'll never forget this, when cruel kids can be, and kids are picking on one another at school, and of course I was always the short one in the bunch and stuff like that. My mom said, Barbara, she wasn't talking about me because I wasn't the name caller, and she'd say, you can always find something good to say about anyone and everyone, and that stuck through year after year after year.
I thought she was going to say, you may be short, but you're mighty.
But I used that when I had some challenging jewelry to sell, and I branded myself as being a host that spoke the truth. If I had a small blue topaz, I wouldn't embellish the truth and make it sound like it was big. Obviously, if you saw it on the hand, I would refer to it as dainty and feminine, and I'd speak the truth, and that's why we.
So that when I got it, it was the size of a toothpick. I wouldn't be disappointed.
That would be. But there were people that would embellish the truth, which didn't work out well.
Yeah, no, because
so if I had something that I wouldn't wear, I would hone in and I'd find something about that. And if it was something that maybe was a small ring that maybe any one of us, it wouldn't appeal to, but it would appeal to maybe Sweet 16 for Sweet 16 birthday, or it was just that color of blue topaz or an amethyst, I'd hone in on the color and I'd build a story around the birthstone for the month. There's plenty of stories on birthstones. So I don't know how I'm going off on this tangent here, but it just goes back to what I had to learn about myself and being a national spokesperson for a major shopping network, and it's really spilled over into what we do here. You and I have done origami jewelry shows, and we're about to do another one with Walt Disney. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's going to be pretty. We're going to go ahead and post that on the Facebook. When we haven't even set that up yet, but
we need to.
We will.
So you know what we need to do? I have a whole bunch of friends that love Disney.
Oh well.
There you go.
We need to talk.
So we do. Yes, and
Did you see my little Minnie Mouse earring?
Oh, I didn't see those. Let me
How
see.
cute!
What are the stones in there?
They're Swarovski crystal.
Are they? They're not a
The one that's the one on the bottom. I don't know what my mic is covering up. So, but there's little mini
Yes, with a
in
little
my
red
ear.
bow.
With a
Those
little
are
red bow in her hair.
really
We
pretty.
also have Mickey, but I have to wear Minnie. Someone said it would be cute to wear Mickey in one ear and Minnie in the
Yes.
other.
Oh, I like
I
that.
would do that.
I've done that for an alternate. Sometimes not. Sometimes by accident.
I've done that. I've done that.
shoes?
I was going to say, have you ever walked out with a navy shoe and a black shoe?
And then somebody says
Oh
something
my
and they'll go, "Did you know?" I go,
Yeah,
That's the new style.
that is what I'm doing.
It was planned.
Poor Rob, he's back there shaking his head.
Yeah.
I haven't heard a peep in my ear from Rob.
He probably went to sleep on the first thing.
Anyway,
You know what guys think when you start talking about feelings.
oh my goodness.
Some of you guys. We know there's other guys
Were
that.
you on the call the other day and we were talking about girly stuff?
Yes.
And Sean and
they were
Master
like,
Kelly, they were sitting there like,
yeah, like, that's enough.
We were just talking about, we were actually talking about jewelry.
Yes.
Because I sent Mary Louise the locket, which is, she's beside herself with that. And I don't know, she was showing it up on there and going through all the different pieces.
So I didn't see that, but we were, when you gave her that, what I was there for is when Sean and Master Kelly,
Yeah.
when we were talking, and
They were like,
yeah,
oh.
they were like,
They weren't there.
It's kind of the way I get when they talk about football.
Hey, the Packers won for all you Packer fans.
But more
out there.
importantly, could you give everything to the Rays because they're trying so hard.
Yes,
The Rays
yes.
are, and they're behind, so please give them a little love.
We'll give
show
them a lot
some
of
love.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
We had a good, fun weekend this weekend. I was looking forward to this show today, and I was out in the public. Not once. 2 times.
Wow.
I was. Had a blast. Should I tell them? Oh, you don't know the story about my... Master Kelly and I are all, we had eaten Saturday, and we were all relaxed about 9, 9:45 at night.
Uh-huh.
Somebody's pounding on my door. I go to the door. It's my grandson pounding on the door. Open up, open up.
Oh,
It's
my
the
God.
police.
Oh, how
That
funny.
little stinker.
How
And-
funny. How cute.
I would have a heart attack because my grandchildren are out of state.
Well, he's done this before, and I heard him. I heard that little boy voice
Uh-huh.
going, "Open up, it's the police," and that little,
Yeah,
high-pitched kid voice. So I grabbed him, and we just had fun, and it was just that was the moment the entertainment started, and it just kept on going. So I woke up this morning with all these really good chemicals floating around
How fun.
from all the love and.
Yeah, and I wanted to interject something. What I just went through this a 4-day retreat.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, ladies.
Teaching.
Oh yeah, ladies. I taught Tai Chi,
Teaching,
Tai Chi and
yes.
Qigong. All right, on the mountains.
Ooh.
Oh my goodness.
Which mountains? Where were you?
So
Tennessee?
I was in Tennessee, and we were on Norris Lake. It's 100 acres on a man-made lake.
Nice.
I saw a shooting star. I hadn't seen
Were the
one in
leaves turning?
years.
Oh,
yes. So it was
yes,
35
that's
degrees
35.
when we woke up.
Oh my goodness! Now that
you
to me is
camping in
cold.
I wasn't camping. We were
Thank
in a
God.
home. We were doing a women's retreat, which we had a questionnaire after it, and I loved it. I'm like, she's like, was it too busy? Because everybody was doing one thing to another, and I had to think about that. And then I texted her back. I sent her a message. I said, no, it was perfect because it didn't give us enough time to have any weird thoughts. So all she kept doing was pouring good thoughts, pouring good things into our heads. So when we went away, that's what we had, right? But if we had too much time, what happens to sometimes there's a negative
worry about
Millie or
people at
something,
home,
right?
you have to go home,
All
you
these
find out they're-
things
I
go in
love
there,
that.
and I'm like, no, leave it just as is. And we
Yeah.
were pampered from head to toe. We went to a spa. We were out. We had a nature walk, and it was just very amazing. And I'll just keep y'all posted and let you know what else is
Do
going
one
on.
around
How's
here,
that?
'cause we're
January.
We're coming into the season for something like that, and I think it would be wonderful. And there's a lot to be said for what you just told everybody is keeping busy. When
That's
my
what I need to
husband and
do.
I were invited to do Seduction of Spirit with Deepak Chopra over in Innisbrook. It's been a good little while, and we were going for 7 days straight, nonstop.
Oh, my
It
gosh.
was either breakfast, meditation, learning about Ayurvedic medicine, which it isn't medicine, it's, herbs,
Yes.
as you know, as a certified herbalist, and so much more, and just learning about the culture learning about meditation. We were given each of our own mantras.
Oh, wow.
And we taught dance on Friday night, which we taught salsa. And then my husband did a preparation with Qigong so that people could get into their meditation from the relaxation
Oh, how
point
beautiful.
of Qigong. Exactly. And Deepak did also past life regression on another night. It was constant. But the one that really stuck out with us was the day that we ate all day. Are you ready for you guys are going to you guys are going
Eating all day, I can handle that.
But wait, there's more.
Okay.
With no talking. Yeah. No talking.
Now, see, I couldn't
No
eat
talking.
food without talking because I have to say, do you taste the this and that? Do you?
Well, in between. Come on. In between talking.
Yeah.
Because I forget exactly what Deepak said, but it was being. This is really being in and of the moment.
You're supposed to be one with the food?
One with the food. Exactly. And I'm telling you, the food, you taste the food. How many of us, I'm just as guilty. What? Rob says, you are one with the minutes right now. He's giving me my cue to wind down.
You're one with a minute. Yes. And we went from food to minutes. That's not any fun, Rob.
That was a good one. I got to give that to you. See, he wasn't sleeping back there.
He probably has a timer.
Oh, my goodness.
We're going to close the show with some good laughter and good fun, and I'm glad that you had a great retreat. You've got
Yes.
your upcoming walk, your
Yes.
tour Friday, and tune
Thursday.
in. Or Thursday. I thought it was Friday. So Thursday.
Just so
and
we wanna keep-
tune in Wednesday on My Chamber TV, and you'll get a chance to see Crisula there, 3:30 p.m. right here on We Being TV. And you've got a lot coming up. We just haven't heard the rest of it yet because we've run out of time.
I used to love Paul Harvey.
And now you know the rest of the story. And the rest of the story is the next 10 seconds here.
We're gonna go-
say our goodbyes. Remember what's overhead. Come from love with everything you do. And believe me, it will change the frequency, your consciousness level. You will look at things a whole lot differently in the choices that you make. Thank you, love you, and goodbye for today.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.